Okay, we're rolling. This is the inaugural first podcast. It's, what is it, June?
Who gives a shit?
I know.
June 25th.
It's like 20-something.
June 25th, 2018.
Yeah. Yeah, buddy.
And we're at Ryan's place here.
We're at the loft. The place to be.
We got several
It is
dogs
the
in the
place to
background.
be. How many are you up to up back here at this point?
How many what?
Dogs.
There's 8.
No shit. Good
8
for you.
dogs in here, yeah. And there's only 2. Oh, wrong way.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah?
Well,
Sorry.
like I said,
So how many
we
Okay, don't
see-
fuck up the
Ooh,
rotation.
shit.
Oh, Jesus. Dropping the joint, fucking up the rotation.
Apparently-
Oh, that went head
apparently,
side
yeah.
down, too.
Well, so
Does
then
it
we
work?
should talk
Alright.
about weed for the newbies then first. I'm sorry. I've literally handled a joint like maybe 6 times in my entire life.
What's the protocol for that?
Joint?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like,
Not a
what's
euphemism?
another joint? No. No, that's a little bit more. I'm a little bit better with that.
Yeah. Woo.
Either it hit you or then you remembered.
All right, so we're here on our first podcast. We have no idea what we're doing. We have a couple topics.
Thank you.
We thought about doing an intro. We didn't do that. We don't
No.
have a name, and we're pretty sure no one's going to give a shit or listen.
So it'll be
Have I
fun.
covered all the
That's a
bases?
good premise. There you
All
go.
right.
You can't go wrong with that. There you go. And
I'm
with
all
that
about
said,
that.
fucking what's the first topic we got on our?
What do we want to talk about today, Melissa? Should we introduce ourselves?
Well, that's probably going to be a good idea.
Who the fuck are you?
I the fuck am Melissa. Do we give last names here? I don't know.
And we'll be back.
Okay, I don't know what happened. Somebody called me and it stopped the recording. Let me put it on airplane mode, mate. Let me wait until my daughter, in case she calls me again. I texted her saying, "Call mom." Okay.
All right, let's
Well,
put it on
anyway, the
airplane
phone call
mode.
was work related. Actually, the first one.
Who gives a shit? Put it on airplane mode.
All right, we're back,
Right.
folks.
Okay, let me do that. There you go. Okay. There
All
we
right.
go. Okay.
Airplane mode it is. So we learned something today.
Did, yeah.
Airplane mode.
Mm-hmm.
If you're using your phone to record and you get a phone call, it apparently stops the recording.
And that's not an ashtray.
No, I was wondering that. I was like, it's very interesting. There's no burn marks on that nice tray. There is now. Okay.
Who did that?
So, okay. Where are we? Oh, we never started the
We
topic,
haven't
did we?
even fucking started. We're allowed to swear on this. Oh, we were introducing ourselves, and then we got distracted.
We need to
Right.
Jar.
Melissa, who are you?
I am Melissa, and I'm a dog trainer. Have been so for about 11 years.
Okay.
That's pretty much all I got.
Dog trainer, okay.
I'm Ryan. This is my place here. I'm a dog trainer and a wannabe stand-up comic.
Oh yeah, ditto. Sorry.
Yeah. My name's Pete. I am not a dog trainer. I do have a dog. It is very badly behaved.
Very.
And actually, it's not.
If
It
only
is.
you knew a
It is,
trainer.
it's not. But for what pays the bills, I work for a startup phone company. I am a service delivery manager, and it's very stressful.
All right. That's not
Not-
funny
not-
at
not-
all.
Yeah,
It's
that was
no.
riveting.
Pete's the technical guy.
I
He's
promise.
not responsible for a lot of the humor in this
I will come out
podcast.
with some nuclear bombs later.
We're gonna hold you to that.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so we
First
have.
topic.
Well, you know what?
Do any
Fuck
of
it,
you
let's
have any preferred method as
do
to how
any
to
of
use
yous?
the dog trainers in
So
the house?
another thing we need to do is not talk over each other.
No.
Sorry. Yeah.
I'm going to do that a lot also.
Yeah, but we'll
I
work
can't
on
stand
it.
listening
Yeah.
to podcasts where everyone's just yelling and shouting at each other. So
Right.
we should at least try to do that a little bit.
Should we have like a baton
Yeah.
that we pass?
No, we could
A
probably
talking
just
stick?
try to take the Rhode Island out of us and
Yeah, we
Right.
could just try to be
Oh, man,
adults.
What's this thing here?
yeah, you gotta let it on fire first.
But
Yeah. See, we're
Yeah.
pausing. We can't pause. There's no pausing.
that's fine. Yeah, but that's what
So if
editing
I'm
is
lighting,
for.
yeah, but we're not. Eventually, we're not going to edit it. We're just going to let it roll.
Fucking
There's
eventually.
no crying in baseball and there's no pausing in podcasts.
That's
All right,
right. Pick up
so,
the dead spots.
Well, you were gonna ask, like, what?
For dog trainers in the house, any preferred method as to what you use peanut butter for?
Oh, that was a serious question.
No, it wasn't actually. It wasn't. But if you were a serious person, you could answer it seriously.
Well, I can only speak for myself and how I use dogs and peanut butter. And I think that is probably a podcast all in itself.
Exactly, totally.
So
I'm
let's
trying
just
to
say
put
it's
that
good for
behind
motivation.
me.
To get the dogs to do things you want them to do that maybe they normally wouldn't be
Okay.
inclined to do.
Let's leave it at that then, I guess. Okay. Let's leave it at that.
All right, but seriously, we're going to make dogs our first topic. And because I apparently have the list, we're going to go with socialization.
Socialization, that doesn't sound funny.
Well, okay, so we could...
That doesn't sound.
You're a dick.
Look at this cat porno pose we want to get.
What's the cat doing?
He's got his hand by
Brown
his
chicken, brown cow.
All right, so we're going to talk about
It's done almost. No. Right.
dog socialization.
Well, listen, you did not give me a whole
I could
lot
be the
of
poster child on
direction.
that.
You're right, it did not. Is it? Okay. Let me...
I could be the poster child for dog socialization.
Okay.
My dog loses his goddamn mind. I take him for a walk. He loses his goddamn mind every time we see any other dog.
That's not
All right.
because of socialization.
No?
That's leash
So,
reactivity.
All right, that's leash reactivity for sure.
So if I take him off the leash, he'll be socialized.
No,
Maybe.
no. All right, you
No.
know what? I can't. I have to. So,
Okay.
I mean, I gotta get a little serious. So, socialization doesn't just mean your dog and other dogs. It also doesn't just mean nonstop positive instances and interactions. Socialization means life experience, and so you want to prepare
people.
it's people, it's experiences, it's other dogs, it's all of that stuff, but it's not just one or the other. And so many people focus on only socializing to dogs or, I don't know, tall men with facial hair. You know, like the standard, my dog's afraid. But then they also expect every single experience to be a positive one. And that's not realistic. And that's not setting your dog up to succeed. So a lot of times I'll tell my clients, like, listen, it's okay to have the occasional grumble or, you know, the squabble, right? Because you need to, like, your puppy has to learn how to handle that. Not everybody's going to be his best fucking friend. You know, he's going to meet Harley down the road and Harley's going to be a dick and want to eat him. And your puppy has to learn how to handle that. And that, hey, look, I came out okay. So that way it doesn't completely scar him for life.
Right. So when I think of socialization, I think of the whole dog to dog, just specifically dogs socializing with other dogs. And you hear a lot of people talking about your dog needs to socialize more and you need to socialize your dog. And I need dogs to socialize my dogs with.
Yeah.
Right. But
Let's go to the dog park.
But what people don't realize is that the dogs are a lot like people. And I don't want to socialize all the time.
Right.
I only want to socialize with people I want to socialize with. I don't want to just go to some random place and socialize with people. And the biggest thing people need to realize is they need to look at their dog and does their dog like to socialize with other dogs?
True.
Some dogs freaking love it.
Yeah.
Those dogs
Right.
absolutely need to socialize with other dogs.
Yeah.
Other dogs, like my Winston, he does not need to socialize with any dogs.
Yep,
He
I've got
barely
two of those.
tolerates his only the dogs in his pack, and
Yeah.
he has one, his best friend Annie, that he plays with. But most other dogs, he's curling his lips and he's growling. He's get the F away from me, you know. And this is also a dog that had serious dog aggression and human aggression issues.
right.
So the thing about socialization is, just like you said, socialization is not just dog to dog. I socialize my dog when we're all out in this loft. Everyone's in a place or on the couch or just in a calm space, and we socialize by all being cool, calm, collective, and keeping the energy level down.
Yeah, for sure. And that's really important to keep in mind. It's not just one thing, and it's not just one way. You know, I mean, I'm sure you see it, and I don't know if it aggravates you like it does me, but I'll see advice from vets or old school trainers or whatever, and they're like, have a party and have everybody handle your puppy. And it's like, listen, I'm typically an introvert, and that scares the shit out of me. Like,
So I think there's a small window where that's super important when the dog is really young, so the puppy can get used to being handled. But once, you know, and maybe not love it, but not be reactive and biting and that kind of stuff. Because I think when you don't have random people handle your puppy, that's when you run into dogs that have issues with their nails being clipped and having problems with the vet and all that kind of stuff.
For sure. I mean, I didn't mean just like no people at all. It's just I can't remember some of the trainers who have said it. Some of the you know, important ones.
Well, there are no absolutes, and a lot of people talk in absolutes. Like, you always have to do this with your dog all the time, and that's not a thing ever.
Right.
Every time I think I know what I'm doing, I find a dog that sticks a wrench in my spokes and sends me over the handlebars, and I got to rethink and change what I'm doing.
Sure.
So.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, it is important to socialize, but you have to recognize what kind of dog you have. So dogs, just like people, can be introverted or extroverted. And so they're, just like you were saying earlier, they're not going to want to interact every single day with every single dog. That's not fair. You wouldn't expect that of a child. Why would you expect it of an animal? That's just ridiculous.
For sure. And that's a great parallel. We spent a lot of time with people telling us, dogs aren't people, they're dogs and all this other stuff, but they're individuals like people are. They're all different, and they should be treated like individuals. Yeah, so that's pretty good for a good topic, huh? That was a good little run. Good. Should we now we need to figure out how to segue into different, because we don't want to pound it to death.
Right.
We have a couple things we want to talk about, and now we can open it up to say, hey, if you want to talk more about this subject, give us a call or an email or something. And we can have a link to something, and then they can submit some questions or something like that.
Yeah, for sure. Because
this might be interesting to us.
I've seen a lot of other hour-long podcasts. They'll take the 2-minute clip out, and they'll do exactly that. They'll take the 2-minute clip out and post that on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because we don't need to have an audio. You could just do a photo.
Yeah.
That's
cool.
Dog's ass
well, because there's no way we're going to be able to talk in depth about everything.
No,
because you're right.
And the idea of this podcast is to keep it light and fun, and not, people that aren't interested in dogs are going to be like, I don't give a shit.
Right. Let's laugh at the peanut butter jokes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, there is that.
Yeah. So, but I think we did a good job of covering it. And
agreed.
All right, what else we got? All right.
Well, so since you know what? Our next one should be something light and fun. So let's go with either comedy or weed. So pick one of those.
Let's do comedy.
Sounds good.
Talk 4 hours.
The comedy thing, I think that's why we're here right now. We're trying to go to this open night. You've actually, Melissa, out of the three of us, Melissa is the only one that's actually been on stage and has performed a set.
So where's this open mic night? What's the name of the place?
It's in Cranston, Pub on Park. John Parada. He puts it on every Monday night, and actually he is one of the guys that gave Bill Burr his first shot. The guy who started around here. So he's a pretty
So I went with you the other week on a Monday.
Yeah. He was there.
The guy John Parada. Did he go up on stage?
No, he didn't go. He doesn't go up. No.
Okay.
He just shows up once in a while. No, he doesn't. He was the big round guy.
That was talented.
He was the big round guy at the thing. No, he's not wasting his time at these bullshit open nights.
Yeah, he was there when we went too, wasn't he? Yeah.
He's super approachable. You go up and talk to him. He's a super nice guy. Like, he's like trying to find talent. Like, I didn't even go up. He's like, yeah, give me what you got.
That's cool.
Yeah. So he's like hungry to try to get people.
So how many times did you watch it before you went up?
Oh, I mean, I am obsessed with comedy. Like, it's my jam. And so, and my favorite thing is to laugh. So why not listen to it all the time? I mean, most of the time I'm watching stand-up comedy specials or listening to it on Pandora. I would much rather watch somebody be funny than watch these bullshit, everything's the same TV shows where they're trying to be funny.
Yeah.
It's so boring. Anyway, so stand-up comedy has just always been a little like an obsession. And I've always thought that I was funny. Now, it didn't matter if other people thought I was funny. That's never mattered.
Bingo.
It was pretty much just if I can make myself laugh.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Thank God, because otherwise I am wasting time.
I have 2 Facebook accounts.
Why do you have 2? Is one a secret from your wife?
Because, one is my forward-facing one that everybody knows about, and the other one is the ones that I'll say any fucking thing I want.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, he's got some pretty rough stuff on there.
Yeah.
And a few times I've commented saying, if any of this shit offends you, don't worry. This is all. None of this is to amuse you.
Yeah,
this is all to amuse me.
Here it is, and here's his cover show.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. I bet that cake is moist too.
He's got a cover photo of a cake with a baby giving birth out of a vagina.
Can I say the name? Is that allowed?
Yeah.
What?
Can I say your alter ego?
Yeah, go for it, sure.
Because I'm loving it. Pedro Curvy.
I've had it for like 8 years, I think.
Yeah.
7 or 8 years now.
It's pretty good. Yeah, he's pretty
it's
funny.
Some of my early stuff is pretty
I'm the
late,
least accomplished out of all this, and I think I'm the funniest, so that's pretty funny.
You're a dick is what
That's
you are.
pretty much. I know I'm not. Because
there's some people you can't be yourself
That's
100%
awesome.
with, so don't even try.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's my
I feel
theory.
like I feel I heard a saying.
Plus, I wouldn't want the people I work with, like my boss and shit, to know half the shit I post.
That's different. I don't have
Which
a
is
boss.
scary about the whole Twitter thing.
Yeah, but our clients.
Ah, fuck, I
So
don't give a shit.
see,
Twitter and-
you're in a better area than I am.
You need different clients than I do.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
I've carved a niche out to get like psycho dogs and that kind of
like
stuff.
it doesn't even matter if they like you or not. Like
No.
they're like they need you. They can't even question it.
Dog training is not the same as babysitting a person's child necessarily.
No.
For real. And I feel like if when you hire a dog trainer, you kind of want them to be a little off the wall and different. You know what I mean? Like say if you hired a painter and he wasn't drunk, like would you really want to
Right.
Is that you know
That's
what I
a
mean?
good point. That's a good point. Why the guy's pulling up in a Mercedes?
You know, like you don't you worry about smelling like weed? I'm like, don't you want your dog trainer to smoke weed?
Right. Well, and then
Relax.
we also have to be able to take some big stuff from these dogs. So when people are like, "Why? How are you okay getting bit?" and it's just like, dude,
I'm not okay with getting bit. Shit.
That sucks.
you know what I mean, though.
Yeah.
Like we're not gonna lose our minds over it.
Yeah. Right. No. Well, I don't know. Like it. I used to get bit a lot.
Wow, yeah.
Way more than I care to admit. You
Yeah,
know?
ditto.
And that's all because I was a cowboy, thought I was Caesar Milan.
And these are big
That kind of
goddamn
bullshit
dogs
stuff.
you work with too.
Yeah.
These aren't little nippy little shits. These
Well,
are
Yeah, no,
hey,
I've been to
listen,
the-
I've had
I've been
some
sent to the
damage
hospital more
done.
than once.
Yeah. Well, and those
One
little
time
nippies.
for surgery, and I was laid up for over 2.5, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And I had to have a pick line, a nurse coming in and give me the bags, like checking everything and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it can get gnarly. And actually, it was my dog that did that.
Yeah.
fuck.
He's a good boy, though.
He's my dude. He's my best buddy for sure. I wouldn't change. He was going after another dog. He didn't decide to take a bite.
redirect.
He was going after another dog. He grabbed what he thought was the other dog and he shook.
Oh, so my wife shouldn't, when we're playing on the couch trying to tease the dog while we're watching TV, she shouldn't put her hands in between my legs to try to let it nip my dick?
Oh, hell no, dude. You're
No.
going to lose the little you have.
Yeah, you're gonna. Unless you got a couple to spare, I would take it easy. And I'm guessing by your heritage.
I'm just assuming at this size.
Actually, no, I've seen it. I saw the mouse. This asshole, right? We were in college. We went to high school together, and you know, we used to get together while they were in college, whatever. And for some reason, him and his friends thought it was fucking hilarious.
Okay.
They would walk around with their fly.
No, there's a backstory.
No. All right. Well, let me just. I'll give
Okay,
my
go on.
impression. Then you can do the
Fuck, it's a
backstory.
punchline.
He's walking around with his. He's walking.
there's a
He's
reason
walking.
why I did
Walking
it.
around with his hand by his crotch. Going, hey, you want to see a mouse? You want to see a mouse?
No, there's
See a
more.
mouse? And then he goes like this. You're like, Jesus Christ!
The story goes.
You got, hold on.
That's like a baby
that was
mouse.
a great visual.
No, the
we
story
really
goes.
have to rethink the YouTube
A
video.
girl on the wing lost her fucking mouse.
Oh, that's so.
And
naturally,
it was
you
a
should put
sa-
your
it was
foot
like a
in-
Saturday. So imagine like freshman year. Imagine freshman year in college. A girl lost her mouse, and everybody was all. It was like a midnight, and all the girls were all. Everybody like they're getting clusters. Like there's a group of like 10 girls at the end of the hall, and it was like a shit show on a Saturday night. So I just.
were you trying to trick women into?
Yes.
That's. Oh my God! You're like proud that you
I
were
missed that.
tricking women into looking at your
So,
dick.
so I approached the group of the 10 girls.
We should say how many years ago this was.
Yes. So I approached the 10 girls. I said, I found the mouse. And I had my dick in my hand, and they didn't know. And then all of a sudden, all 10 girls turned and looked, and they were all fucking instantly horrified. And there was like 4 or 5 guys too.
That's gonna be a record. Sexual assault.
Yes.
against 10 girls
That's
at the
right.
same time.
Right. Oh
That
yeah.
is amazing. Move
This
over,
is a
Harvey
lo-
Weinstein.
That's
Move
right.
over, Trump.
And that's what's scary. And that's what's scary about the fucking day and age we live in today.
Yeah.
Imagine.
You'd
Now,
be
now
done.
everybody's like, oh, be careful what you put on the internet. You know, this fucking podcast also.
Like, look at that little mouse.
Like if I like videotape that, that's funny, and then you know I'm in college back in those days, and then 20 years later I'm running for fucking Senate or whatever,
Yeah.
and one of those
Yep.
20 girls videotaped it on her quote unquote iPhone
Right.
that no one had back then.
Right?
well, but that doesn't
it
make
could be
it
a big
okay
problem.
that it
Well, I
happened.
mean, then there's also the point that do I really want my senator whipping a dick out in front of 10 chicks thinking he's funny? Is that the kind of person I really am looking to take reins?
Solid point.
You want him to be the man of the people.
No, but I mean,
okay,
so I don't want to
enough.
go down too much of a feminist road, okay? I promise, since I don't want you guys to cry, but...
Thank you. I would like that, too.
But, so, it's not so much that it's the technology that's fucked up.
Oh, yes, I'll give you that. Yes.
It's really just that,
yeah.
You need to be a better human being, and that we've expected too little from men. And so, grow up. But at least in this day and age, too, if that happened, if a woman did that, we'd be held accountable, too.
Yep.
Then that's where technology does come in to, like, I guess it could help to keep some people honest.
That's a little different.
What is?
So if a woman was walking around showing her boobs, or her. Well, actually, that's not fair because some states you can.
But then again, you
we'll free the nipple
in a different atmosphere, in a different college. Like, what if I did that in
Wellesley,
in Harvard, for instance?
Okay.
Well, I think it was
these girls are all prim and proper and uppity.
Did we say what year it was?
It was 1995.
Right, 1995. So that's a fucking long time ago, and it was a different
it was
time.
1950.
Right, and
but I will say,
in no decade is that okay. Okay, let's just say that straight off.
It is an absolute different. I like to think it's a different world than it was back then. But is it like a kid my age at that age? Would they do it at that in that bubble, in the bubble that we're in now at the age of what was I 19? How old was I? I don't even freaking know. 19?
Well,
Would
19 or 20.
Would 19-year-olds do that? And then they're not thinking that way just yet necessarily.
Well, I think the difference between then and the 50s and now is consequences.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you got caught and you got in trouble, they would be like, dude, cut the shit.
Right.
Nowadays, you'd been kicked out of school.
They want you fired.
And you'd be demonized to hell for your entire life. And I don't think that's okay.
Well,
You know what
I
mean?
agree with that. Yeah, I mean, the consequence should still...
Are you supposed to whip your dick out and show it to people? But no, you're in college. But it is college.
However,
and
I hear
you should we push our
Hold
limits
on.
and you go past them a little
Yeah,
bit.
do
If
the
it
dumb
fits
shit
perfectly in with a fucking mouse joke, you should whip your dick out.
I mean, that is...
You have to whip your dick
But
out.
what about those of us who don't
in
have
the name
a
of
dick
comedy,
to
you know
whip
what?
out?
And that just goes to show you you're not equal. Okay?
So, I mean,
No matter how much we pretend.
Listen, I don't want you guys to think I'm here to villainize you, because it's also, we've learned more too. So, I mean, back when you found the mouse,
It was missing for weeks.
nobody was even really thinking about stuff like that. Like, nobody had taught you, so
Right.
how could you
Right.
possibly have known?
It wasn't in the zeitgeist of the time.
Yeah.
That's a
I'm
word.
pretty sure down deep in your gut
I
you
don't
knew
know.
you're not supposed to whip your dick out.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
probably,
the dick,
yeah.
but like you would
Yeah.
never have thought that it was
Right.
sexual harassment.
No, right,
which,
right, right,
at
yeah.
that age and that time,
Right.
it really was just a practical joke.
Right, and it's like mooning. Like a step above mooning.
Yep.
Now
For
you
sure.
could probably get in deep shit now.
For real.
Well,
In the
yeah,
different-
but then also we're expecting you guys as fathers to teach the next generation and the next. You know what I mean? So it's like you're expected to teach them more so that they don't make those mistakes. They don't.
Well, what if
think
we're
that
trying
way.
to teach them to have a sense of humor?
Yeah.
I think you can have a sense of humor and not.
Keep it in your pants.
Yeah.
Or at least have a fake dick.
Somebody's gonna put a
That'd
mouse
be
trap on that thing. And then what?
That's whack.
Bad Pedro.
What the fuck? I just grabbed it. That's awesome.
What were we talking about?
I don't know.
Oh, technology.
No, is that
Not yet.
Yeah, we did. It was,
We didn't get into
It was
technology.
comedy.
Yeah, we were talking about comedy.
That's.
all
I don't
right.
even know where we went.
It's all right. That was fun. See, this is
That
the
was
beauty
fun.
of what we're trying to do here.
Yeah.
Almost a half an hour's gone, by the way.
That's good, and it seems like we've been doing it for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah, I think if we just sit here and talk for an hour, and maybe not even cut it up, just fucking put it out there.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah, why not, right?
And you can watch the progression of us.
And that's true.
Working through it and shit. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, we can
Correct.
take people's opinions and go.
Ziggy,
forward
stop
with
chewing the
that.
bed. Thank you.
Yeah, dude.
That's a girl.
We want the
Whatever.
sound quality.
Send
to
me
be
your
good.
therapy bill.
You're gonna be shocked with the sound quality of this stupid thing. I almost bought a mic. They sell these
I
little...
have a microphone. I went to find it and I couldn't.
would it fit in like the
Yeah, it
audio
does. It
jack?
fits-
Would
it
it
fits
fit?
right in
Actually,
me.
no. I don't have an audio jack.
Yeah, so it wouldn't work.
Apparently,
Talk about technology. That's a great
apparently we're on a
segue to technology.
technology.
Well, are we done with the comedy?
I don't fucking
All
know.
right, yeah,
I don't
fuck
even
it.
know
Technology.
if we
Let's do
started.
it. Let's do it.
We're talking about technology.
I like
Next
this
topic.
thing.
Technology, how technology have changed since we all graduated high school.
All right,
Yeah.
now we get to do all the hacky things.
Right.
Like, oh my God, porn. You have to wait and I see a nipple.
It's loading. And then your mom pulled into the driveway.
Oh my God.
Shit.
But we all, the first time I ever went on the internet, it was 1990.
Clarky. With Clarky
I mean, that
at
was
Prodigy.
pretty much all of us.
It was Prodigy,
Clarky's house.
or Sprynet or something.
Oh, Sprynet.
One of those two. I remember I had a regular PC, and I remember my father, gave me a modem. And from our
Modem.
college dorm, I downloaded some disc or something.
No, you did it before that. We were online
Really?
at Jason Clark's house in Prodigy.
Were we?
And we were in his fucking basement, and
I
everything's
remember that.
taken forever around his computer. I'm like, this
Yeah, it
is
was
the
like a piece of
dumbest
shit.
shit
Yeah.
ever. Who gives a fuck? And we would go on these random
Yes.
bulletin boards and see random bullshit.
Yeah, I never really appreciated
And Clark
it.
and Dory were like, this is fucking awesome. I'm like, let's go play street hockey. Oh, I just dropped my Wii over.
Right,
the
it wasn't
place.
interesting. It was nothing to be.
It was so boring.
Well,
And I'm just not into it.
But
Like-
you guys were a little bit older than I was so obviously the same time you guys started going online, I did too. I mean, so did all
How
of
old are you
America. 34.
34, so we're 42.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just a little hop and a skip.
Well, no, I know
That's
that.
a
but-
lifetime in high school. You
Stop
shouldn't
it.
be.
You're
Well,
right.
but that's the thing. So you guys were at an age when the internet came out, where it's like, oh, this is so boring. Like, why does it take so long? When for my age, it was like, holy shit, this is the future.
Right. Yep. And that's why AOL.
Yeah, for sure.
That's why AOL kind of exploded, because the internet really did suck, but AOL gave you
AOL
Yeah.
put that
Yeah.
interface and made it make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
and
it
you could
gave you
get a
this-
free CD.
Right. It gave you the tools to get in those chat rooms.
Yes. Yeah.
And then the instant messenger.
Oh, who
But I
didn't
remember the
love
chat
AIM?
room specifically.
I never-
I would go do a lot of trolling.
Yeah, I'm shocked.
Yeah, that's so weird.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have pegged you for that.
Yeah.
See, that stuff was all boring to me too. I'm like sitting here looking to people talking like this is just
Like I go like religious.
loved it.
There's like
really. Yeah,
religious
I
ones.
didn't get into that.
People are like so like serious and religious, and I was very immature at the time.
At the time.
That's so weird.
I would
just-
do it.
Well,
again,
Peter, what would you do?
I
I don't
can't-
remember. All I remember just fucking with people.
You would have found
I
your
remember.
mouse. I cannot wait until
Oh,
it's 2020 and you try to run for like mayor
Right?
or town official.
I
This
think-
podcast is gonna come
Oh yeah, so
out.
I'd go to religious ones and ask for them to send me like a GIF. Send me a GIF, and then like, and that's basically say, hey, send me a dirty picture.
Oh my lord.
No, you remember that?
Well, I was too young for that. For me, it was all
I never
about,
did any of that.
No.
Well, for me, it was all about having the AOL Instant Messenger, the AIM, so I could
Yeah.
get home from school and immediately start talking to the friends I had just
Right?
fucking seen.
They just shut that down, by the way,
I
about a couple
know.
weeks ago or a month ago.
I lost
they,
my
They
screen
mothballed
name.
it finally.
Yeah. I mean, they should have put that thing to bed a while ago, but whatever.
I had the same screen name every 20 hours. I would get a different credit card. I had like 3 or 4 different ones.
Because nobody
And
want to pay.
The 20 hours, I'd do the 20 hours, kill it, get a new
Yeah.
credit card, and I'd go around. But the problem is I'd keep changing my username.
Yeah.
So my first one was Onion for You, and then the other one was like
I'm almost
Onion
afraid
for
to
You
ask.
too. I don't even know.
Mine
I
are
don't know where I
boring.
came up with it.
What were yours?
Mine, I had so in high school, beepers were a big thing.
Oh
Yeah.
yes,
Right.
yes, you had. The,
So I had beepers, and my friends before texting, we used to text with beepers. Right? Oh, this is old school shit now. Right? So each one of us we'd take the last 3 in Massachusetts there was 3 letters and
Yeah.
3 numbers.
Okay.
And we took the last 3 numbers, and my grandmother's license plate, because I didn't have a car, it was 875 Easy E.
Oh my lord.
Right, so my number was 875, and that was my beeper code, right?
Yeah.
And we would do things like spell things out. So you know how on the phone it
yeah.
has the 3 letters,
Yep,
whatever.
yep,
so
yep.
we used to hang out at Diamond Hill Plaza in Woonsocket.
Oh my
so
God.
I would do 4455 HHL HILL, and then the star sign, and that would put a dash, and then I would do 875, and that means I was up at the hill, and I would text that to my friends. And
Oh
then
my
they would
God.
come up.
That's awesome.
We used to do that stuff. So I took that, and then
Borderline
my
Morse code.
Well, in 143, I love you, because 1 letter, 4
Right.
letters, 3
Right.
letters, and all that kind of bullshit. We would send texts, and you would have to go to a payphone and look, and you would have to
Spell it out.
you would have to decode it, like 5-3 this, like, all right, that's probably a D, that's probably a right, and you're sitting there trying to decode all that stuff and figuring it out. That's how we texted. That's how we texted back in the day. Right, so and back then my nickname was Red or Big Red, so my
That's
AOL
weird.
name was Big Red 875, and my nickname on a lot of things is still Big Red. Big Red.
Oh, so again, since this
And I use
is not
875.
video, that's funny because he's a ginger and has no soul.
That's not necessarily true.
I thought they proved that.
Did they?
Did they prove that? Did they really?
It's just a little mean-spirited.
I'm just trying to give a visual to the listeners.
Thank you. And I'm fat.
Is this unusable?
So there's that.
I mean,
It's
ditto.
unusable?
Oh, we can smoke that a little bit. Yeah, you want to smoke that a little? We have a little roachy roach going on that Mr. Pedro Kirby would like to.
Saying
Or should we all develop alter
you don't want to be
egos?
dank bruh.
I do not want to be
Dank-
dankrupt.
Dankrupt. That's a great word. I've never heard that word before, and that's amazing.
I love words.
Teach a man to fish.
I don't like fish.
Ditto.
No, you don't. You won't eat fish.
I like shellfish, not swimmy fish. Unless it's tuna
You'll eat.
from a can. Tuna steak,
Okay.
you can go take a hike.
You wouldn't eat fish and chips.
I do, but as long as I can hide the flavor of the fish with the batter and the tartar
Yes,
sauce.
Yeah. Okay. And some ketchup. Probably,
Yeah,
right?
probably, yeah. Whatever.
Blech.
It's
Okay.
the texture. So what happened was
You like it
I was
flaky. You can eat the
forced
flaky.
I was forced to eat fish sticks when I was a child.
Gordon's.
Something like that, and ever since then the texture and the smell.
Here.
All set. Thank you.
Hold on. Hold on. 10 seconds. I gotta pause this for a second here.
And we're back.
See, don't laugh. Everybody's gonna wonder
I'm
what the hell we're
practicing.
laughing
I'm practicing. Come on, that was good, right?
That was phenomenal.
about. They're gonna wonder what they missed.
Oh,
Go ahead.
my
Tell
Lord.
them. Tell them how big that mouse was.
It was actual mouse size.
I'd give it a little more than that. You borderline rat.
Guinea pig? Let's not get carried away.
A mole.
Gerbil, at least.
All right. What do we got for next topics here? We're gonna move it on. Move on to this, or are we rushing? Should we just
No.
Nah, you
keep it?
gotta see where the
Well,
gold
I
is.
honestly
You gotta keep
don't
mining.
really.
You
Oh,
gotta
we haven't
keep
talked about
mining.
weed. We haven't talked about weed. That's the only thing.
Dude, that's
can
a whole
smoke it.
separate podcast all on itself.
You could have
If you
said
get this
that
fucking
when I was
guy.
writing down the
I know,
topics.
I
And
should-
we
Alright.
could have found
I have nothing to
something
add
else.
necessarily.
How do you, Melissa? How do you?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on
Let's talk about the
medicinal
laws and stuff. Like
cannabis?
Well,
and
so-
how do you use it?
Yeah, okay, so, and that's a really interesting question for me because I spent my entire childhood, even into my 20s, hating weed. I saw it as this hardcore
Well, you shouldn't
drug.
have had it as a child, actually.
So that's funny you say that. I was not to interrupt you, but I'm gonna.
No,
anyways.
that's fine. Yeah. So weird.
I'm just similar. I was 22 when I grew up with a lot of substance abuse issues in my family with drugs and alcohol, and I've always been basically scared of it. And I was 22 the first time I tried.
Well, I had daddy issues because that's weird. And so I just grew up feeling like daddy chose, booze and weed over his princess. Because let me tell you, I started off his fucking princess. And so I think I just had a tough thing. But so naturally, because women and we date our fathers for quite some time. Not in a weird way. No, I'm good. If I have any more of that, I'm going to be a fucking puddle. But so it's you just gravitate towards the key man in your life, and that's your
Yep.
father. And so I would date these boys who would put everything in front of me as far as priority, but I focused in on what was the substance, and there was always a substance because that's what I kept dating. And so it was just lodged in my mind that this was a terrible thing.
Yep.
And then I got to my mid-20s, and I started dating this boy. He just had me around it all the time. And so finally I was like, well, fuck it. I'm 20, I think I was like 25, 26. And why not? Why not give it a whirl? Holy shit, I was decimated. And so that sort of stuck in my head for a while, which also made me afraid of it. I was no longer against it, but now I was like, oh, I can't handle it. I should never smoke it. Well, then fast forward to like 31, and I was in the most pain of my life. I was suffering from disc degeneration, and
What's that?
It's literally where the I think it's like the L5 on me, but your discs start just wasting away and breaking away. And it was putting pain on back nerves. And so I was in so much pain. And your typical muscle relaxer, like nothing was helping because it wasn't muscular. And I was dating this guy at the time, and he was like, listen, I know how you feel, but I have stuff that can help you. And he wasn't he himself wasn't smoking it. He was sober, but he was growing it. And so he was like, let's try some stuff and see if we can find something to help. Because otherwise my next option was surgery. At 30, 31, 32 years old.
Jesus.
That's not an option.
No.
And plus owning my own business and working constantly, like there's no downtime.
Right.
Like I would be homeless.
Or
So-
take a shit ton of pain medication.
Yeah, and then exactly.
You can't be laid up at our
Right.
line of work.
No, I need my wits about me. Otherwise, I'm going to get my shit fucked up. So I was like, at that point, I was in so much pain. Honestly, you could have told me that heroin would have fixed it, and I would have been, shit, sign me up. I don't even care at this point. I'm in so much pain. And so we tried a couple of different strains, and I started to learn about it because I'm always a big fan of learning about things. I don't want to just do them. I want to know about them.
Yep.
And thank God for technology and the internet where it is
Right,
now.
that's the
So
thing.
that was an easy thing to do, was to find out more. And the more I learned, the more I'm like, okay, this is worth it. You should at least give it a shot, see if it works. And through trial and error, I found that it might not necessarily fix the nerve pain, but it was helping me in a lot of other ways. And the only reason, I wasn't able to dial that in more was because I hadn't gone for my medical card. So it was just a shot in the dark.
Yeah.
And so, over the last few years, I've gotten just more comfortable with it, and I see how much it can help. Honestly, I've seen CBD oil treats and CBD oil help dogs, in these super huge, amazing ways. And so as far as medical marijuana goes, I'm all for it, and I think that we really need to put more money into research. I have an aunt who has stage 4 cancer, and medical marijuana has made such a huge difference in her life and life expectancy. Without it, honestly, I think she would have been dead.
Yeah, quality of
Awesome.
life.
Yeah.
I believe that 100% too.
Yep.
How about you, Mr. Peter?
What is my history with?
What's your opinion on it, and how do you use it?
I think they should. Well, I recreationally myself.
Recreationally, medicinally, whatever.
Recreationally, I do like CBD. I've tried that a few times. I like to just because on typically a weekday, like working like a work day, you can't exactly smoke a joint in the middle of a work day.
Right.
However, like stress levels, like some people have a cup of coffee, even though it's caffeine, it's technically, psychologically it will relax you somewhat.
It is a substance.
But
That's a drug for sure.
Oh, yeah.
but I think like CBD, however, like it could absolutely, I think, can be used in a work atmosphere that can relax you.
Yeah.
You got this big meeting coming up in a couple hours, utilize CBD, for instance, to relax you.
Right.
So you can.
Well, that's the thing.
It's no crazier than some of these high-flying executives taking Adderall to fucking
Right.
burn both ends of the
It's
candle.
way better. It's
Yeah.
way
Well, yeah,
better.
ex- yeah,
That's not okay. That
Right.
people
Yeah.
are doing the Adderalls
Right.
And the
and
Coke
Xanax
and
Right.
and all that.
Oh, hell
Well,
yeah.
I mean, we can obviously point the finger that Coke
Well,
is bad.
yeah,
but,
you're
but
right.
we
I'm-
don't.
I
but we
redact.
we don't at Xanax or
Right.
Ambien.
And that's a
or,
problem.
Right.
Or what was the Adderall, like
Yep.
all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Yep.
And there are.
Or hell, even alcohol. I mean, I had a real
thing,
tough
yeah.
day at work
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
It's
And
all
you're gonna- I
self-medicated.
jacked
Beer.
down.
Yep.
I drink a lot. I
Dilly
tapered
dilly.
it off. I tapered it off on the weekdays, though. I typically just drink on weekends now. But I noticed that I drink a lot on a Sunday night because I'm thinking about work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? So
Right, and that sucks. Like, and what I think. All right, so is it my turn? Are you done?
Yeah, that's all I got.
Well, how do you use it? How do you
just
so we talk about
recreationally
CBD.
ultimately, but CBD. The few times I've had it,
What about
my problem is
THC?
I don't have a medical card, and I have a problem getting my hands on quote unquote CBD and all these
Well,
other.
CBD is legal. You can get CBD anywhere.
You can get
Right.
that.
Yeah,
get
they
that
can put it in
online.
dog treats. Yeah.
It's
No, that's
totally legal.
that's
You
why the dog
absolutely
treats are legal.
I have right here what I'm holding up. It looks like a small baggie of cocaine. It looks exactly like cocaine you see in the movies. It's so funny, but it's
Really
it's
does.
CBD isolate. It's 99.9%.
Now, how much is a
CBD?
bag of that stuff
So
cost
this
when you got
is-
in your hand there?
so this-
It's about like
But-
4 tablespoons at least. That's 3
So
tablespoons.
this bag was 7 grams. I'm gonna
That shit ain't cheap.
I'm gonna be
though.
making some edibles and tinctures and things, but what I've been doing with it now is dabbing it like people do dabs of like hash oil.
Oh, right.
And you can dab that, and what that you get, it's like taking a shot of something. Like it's a big high dose. So a bag like this, they go for around, I don't know, like $35 a gram of this, $30 a
Oh,
gram
that's less
depending.
than I
30, so
expected.
It is.
30
It's
times
super.
7?
Like so, if you. And the reason why I did this is I got my friend has cancer, and she asked me to get her some CBD pills, and I got them from.
It's like an oil, right?
So no, what is
CBD pills.
CBD pills? No, it's very similar to
powder.
this.
This
Powder.
So what they do is people. The woman upstairs, she works for a company that has it. I got it through her. It was $80 for one bottle. There was 30 pills, or basically, so the bottle was 750 milligrams, and it was $80.
Yeah.
And I was like, Jesus.
Right.
Yeah.
See, that's what stopped me. I
That
tried a
is
couple times.
so expensive,
Right. And that's what stopped me from ever like, yeah, okay, that's a great idea. I'll wait
So
till
and
the
then
prices come down.
so here's the thing: if the product is
So
good,
expensive.
it may be worth it, but they
Yeah.
don't check. There's no FDAs.
Right,
There's no
no.
anything.
No.
And I ran into this a little bit with the THC edibles. I made some and had them tested, and then they tested super low. But I would have a handful of them, and I felt more messed up than with like 80 milligrams of dispensary stuff.
Right.
So I don't think they're testing that stuff. I think it's the Wild West.
Yeah.
And I think we all have a lot to learn, even the
Oh,
people
yeah.
that are doing this stuff.
And it's scary too if you want to like base your life. At the end of the day, if you're using it for medicine, it should be absolutely measured.
Well, that's just it.
you
That's
need
the
to-
biggest
'cause
problem.
You're using
Yeah.
because if it's quote unquote a medicine, you're using it to function in your life. And if you're like, oh, I know 10 milligrams does this to me,
Right.
so I'm taking my 10. I know if I wait an hour, I can still
Right,
drive.
and it
But
should
guess
be
what?
consistent.
They
Yeah.
messed up your dosage,
Well-
and now
Right.
you can't even fucking drive.
No,
But the,
and-
you know,
sorry,
or whatever.
just real quick. Sorry.
ahead.
It's just the problem is that the government has spent so long fighting it,
Yeah.
and Big Pharma has spent so long
Wild
keeping
West.
exactly. So
It's actually not even that deep. It has everything to do with just how they're not selling food, right? So you don't have to test this kind of stuff, and it's more like selling essential oils and
Right.
holistic stuff like that.
But
so
that's
there's-
what I mean.
It's that whole, but it's not just like marijuana that's in that
Right. Well,
category.
no,
It's
for
also
sure.
like if you get this thing that has this many milligrams
Right.
of freaking ginseng or
It don't
turmeric
matter.
or whatever, like
Well,
there's no one
kratom.
testing that kind of
Kratom
shit.
is,
And at
is
the
a
end of the
similar-
day-
yeah,
right,
And at the
they're
end of the day,
fighting it.
too, if they did put 20 milligrams in it instead of 5,
Nobody's
it's not
checking.
going to kill you.
Right.
No one's going to
Correct,
die.
but it could
No,
have
but it's going
fucked
the
your
other. What it
day
is
up.
it's probably the other way, and that's what bothers me. They're putting
ripping
1
you off.
milligram instead of 20.
That
Yeah,
too, but it's like
yeah.
if you're expecting to take a certain dosage, and you know what, whether it's for medical or recreational, I don't believe that this should be illegal.
No.
And so it doesn't even matter what reason you use it for. You should still be able to trust the product you are using. That's why they have to put how much alcohol
That's
is
where-
on this bottle,
yeah.
so that I know how much I can have and still be able to do something.
But
So if you're
Oh, yeah.
but if you're utilizing it for, say, an anxiety attack, and you just need a tiny little bit to be able to bring you back down, be able to function, you need to know that you're actually only getting a tiny little bit. Otherwise, that just fucked you up all
Yeah.
day long. And whatever you had coming, you're all done. You can't do it.
Right.
That's not okay.
No.
And the capitalist in me, I think when these big companies like Aurora and then Canopy Growth,
I don't know
That's
what those
another big
are.
one. The
Is that-
Canadian ones, they're on the New York Stock Exchange right now. Like they're basically Coke and Pepsi of Canada.
Oh, okay.
And I think once they get big enough,
Yeah.
they're gonna have Coke and Pepsi, and then and this shit's gonna be like they're gonna have this shit dialed in.
Yeah.
Well,
I think.
so here's the problem.
I mean, that gets a little scary.
It's possible. Well,
It is.
You're seeing that in Rhode Island right now. You're
It
seeing it in
is.
Rhode Island right now. The dispensary, the Slater dispensary, they lobbied the politicians to raise the cultivator license from $5,000 to $250,000.
I was shocked when I heard that. That is
Wow.
insane.
So
That
what
is
that does is that
insane.
makes it so there's not going to be any competition.
Right, right. And then your
Right?
big
So
companies
it's
are
just
those
these
the
3
ones who can afford it.
dispensaries that, and they also pass it so there's not going to be any more dispensaries, and that's
You have to
wrong.
pay that
Yeah,
every
that is
year.
wrong.
You need more dispensaries, more competition.
Yes.
And and so that way you can have. So my problem with the dispensaries now is they're more like liquor stores than they are pharmacies.
I've heard that.
Right?
Yeah.
You go in there and it's like, whoa, what kind of fire you got and all that stuff.
Right.
And like I like recreational weed. I like
Right.
getting
Yeah.
stoned, all that stuff. But I also 150% believe, you can only go higher than 100. You can.
You did it.
Yeah. I believe it's medicine,
Yes.
and I think we.
Yeah.
Before 1930s, it was the most prescribed medicine
Right.
on the planet.
Right.
Shit.
In tincture forms, you can go online and see the cannabis sativa, cannabis
Yep.
indica bottles of liquid in it, and it's alcohol tinctures and
Yep.
that kind of stuff. And they knew back then that sativas were helpful for different problems, and
Right.
indicas did that.
Yep.
And we need to go back to that and show that it's actual medicine, and
For
people
sure.
need to calm down.
Yeah.
Like it's the biggest problem it has is that the people that are most outspoken are the biggest dumbasses, and they're all bros, and they're all
Yeah.
just trying to get fucked up, and
Yep.
they're like, oh, it's medicinal, wink, nudge,
Yeah,
nudge,
yeah.
wink, wink,
Yeah.
and it's like, no, hey, assholes, it is.
Yes. Yeah.
It is. It's good.
Well,
Fuck
that
off,
panic
like-
attack, that anxiety attack, I mean, I was thinking of my own instance a few weeks back, and I was to the point where I was hyperventilating. I barely made it into my house. And it was like, what do I do? This was 10 o'clock in the morning. I still have an entire day of work.
Oh, God.
What do I do? And I was like, but if I smoke, so luckily, I guess, because I've been using more, I've built up my tolerance more. So 5 years ago, I would take one little hit and be, damn. But it's built up. So now I can take one hit and all of a sudden I was fine.
Yeah.
Like I was not fucked up, not even remotely. It would be like one sip of alcohol.
But it
all of a
turns the
sudden,
volume down
yeah,
on
all of a
all
sudden
this
I was
shit.
like, oh my God, I can breathe. I
That's
can breathe.
Yeah, it's
Right.
like.
And I wasn't fucked up. I wasn't messed up.
You're
I didn't feel.
functional.
Yeah, like I didn't feel. It was literally like one sip of alcohol. It
It's
does
like
nothing
someone
to you.
drapes a big heavy jacket
Yeah,
over you,
yeah.
and it makes you just feel a little like you're getting a little hug.
Yeah.
Like it's calming things down, and
Yeah.
everything's not so crazy.
For sure.
So I was 22 the first time I tried it,
Mm.
and I'm a lot for a lot of people. Like it's like, whoa, this guy, he needs to calm down,
That's
right?
why I like you.
Well, so part of me is like, I heard something that resonated with me. If you're too much for some people, those aren't your people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's not necessarily. You have to function, right? And I feel like weed
Yeah.
turns the volume down on me
Yeah.
and makes me more relatable. It can put the brakes on me and
Right.
and kind of keeps me in check. So I use it like all day, every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and stay high, bro. But for real, like you.
Yeah.
And if you don't know, like you don't know that I'm high.
Right.
Like
No, I would
don't-
never.
I'd
Yeah.
say that
once in a
after I
while.
had like 5 martinis, you don't even know I'm drunk.
Yeah.
That's like my claim to fame with my wife. I'm like, you can't even tell if I'm drunk.
Yeah.
For the most part, I mean, I can
Well,
shut
so
it off.
that's so I
Yeah.
learned in my DUI classes that there's
Right.
that there's intoxication levels, and
Yeah.
then there's intoxication, and then like your blood alcohol level. Your blood alcohol level is what it is.
Yeah.
you can't.
No matter what.
So that's not
But
your
your level of
intoxication.
and how and there are certain things like that. So you can fake your motor skills, and you can get used to not talking in cursive, right? And all this kind of
Writing.
Talking.
You don't talk in cursive when you have a couple drinks? What? You never heard anyone talk in cursive? Right. I talk in cursive. If I
Letter
have
F
two
is,
drinks.
that letter F is real capital F. Oh my God.
But you know what I mean though, like so you can fake that, but there are certain things that you like the inhibition things.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
That you can't
Like,
shut that off.
Like
Right.
you couldn't tell I'm drunk, but I'll tell you like I jerk
But
off 5 times a day.
I'll pull my dick out and show it to
Right.
10
Right.
kids.
Yeah.
I feel like every topic he has to find a way to talk about his penis.
I do. Maybe you put the nail on the head right. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh Lord, this is
know.
fun.
Just 3 times. So
So I just find, and I found that like through different strains, I like a sativa for during the day that isn't a crazy, like the problem with a lot of the weed strains out now is like, everyone complains the weeds are too strong, it's way too potent.
We're working on this shit like it's the cure for cancer or something.
And that's the thing, right? And that's just it. It is, but you don't have to do as much.
Right,
and also like there are still the older strains. Like I like one of my favorite strains right now is Durban Poison. It's an African landrace. It's the base sativa for a lot of the Girl Scout cookies. Girl Scout cookies is that and it's Durban Poison and some other thing. So like a lot of the sativas hybrids you see out there are based from Durban Poison, but Durban Poison is not a high yielder. It's a pain in the ass to grow, and it doesn't produce a ton of THC. But when you smoke it, it's like having
CBD in it then?
No, there's no CBD.
If it don't have THC and it don't have
No, it has
CBD,
THC.
No, it has THC, but it's not as
lower
strong.
end,
This is it
I
here.
gotcha.
All right, so it has like a lemony.
Yeah.
It has like a lemony kind of, but you see it. It's not like so.
Yeah.
That's
Smells
that. So it's kind of. It looks a little straw hay like.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not. It doesn't have the bag appeal, right? Then like I have this GDP here. Like you look at this,
it's
and
gorgeous.
that's
Granddad.
and this is a straight
That is
indica.
beautiful.
This is also an older like strain that their hybrids are from this, but like this, you're like and you
Right,
smell it, and you're
right.
like it sells. It has that bag appeal, so it has that recreational kind of value to it. So the Durban Poison isn't going to sell, so the dispensaries and all that stuff, you go in there and people are like, they look, which is the highest THC? I want that one.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's
And it
not
probably
what
tastes
they
like
should be
shit.
doing.
Right, that's like, I always I laugh, like that's like drinking, that's like, let me get the Everclear every single time because it gets me fucked up the most. Like, no, how about I have a nice whiskey, a nice scotch, and enjoy the taste, and it does what I want, and I'm going to get where I want to get anyways.
Right.
You know what I mean? You always get what you want to get.
Yeah.
You take 4 hits instead of 3.
Right. Or and it's also a different high. Like when you're high on Durban Poison, it's like I read a review. It's like having an energetic cup of espresso that gives you focus and it puts you in a good mood. And it does. It's an uplifting, energetic. I get halfway through a bowl and I'm like, shit, I got to fucking do the dishes. That over there, I got to straighten out, and I'm walking around. Like it really does it's medicine. So it like I'm like super passionate about this now and trying to share that. So
Well, you should. I mean, the more people talk, the further we get. If nobody says anything, if we're all silent, then we never get anywhere.
nice. I agree.
Well, eloquence.
Very good. So we're 52 minutes into this bad boy. I think we should start to think about wrapping it up in the next 10
we
minutes.
need to
here.
save the 8 minutes so we can splice in commercials for all the sponsors.
All the sponsors. Yeah. No, but I think we should turn it back light a little bit and have a little bit of fun. Let's bust that topic list out and see what we got.
Oh, there were only 4.
Oh, that's it?
That's what I was told to have.
All right,
We could
All right,
revisit
comedy.
because we didn't
finish that.
Yeah, we barely even started.
All right, so Peter, let's hear from you. We haven't heard
comedy.
Heard off you other than your penis.
Comedy. I got nothing to talk about other than comedy.
All right.
No, you didn't.
Comedy as a. All right, let's make it more of a topic, right? So we're about to wrap this up and go to this open mic, right? So
yes.
What is your goal? Why do you?
My goal?
Why do you want to get up there? Who gives a shit about getting up there and looking like a fool in front of people?
I feel as if I'm after I clean up my 5 minutes, I'm going to be discovered, and it's going to change my life, and I'm going to be a star.
Cool.
No, I'm just fucking with you.
No,
I have
being delusional. Is that a comment? Is that like a dominating thing in your life? Or?
Listen,
I have other than bragging rights. That's all I can.
If you don't say it out loud, it'll never happen. That's the big thing about goals.
I have a vision board at home.
The law of attraction.
I have a vision board at home where I hold my mouse in one hand and I stare at my vision board.
Listen, don't make fun of that shit because that gets me everywhere in motherfucking life. Maybe not to that extent, but like I believe in the law of attraction. If you're gonna just talk about stupid shit happening to you, guess what's gonna happen to you?
The only reason I am out of my grandmother's basement and in this loft is because I wrote my goals out.
Cheers.
I have it written down somewhere.
I need to go back to that, but I had them in my. I had them in the. I had them up on these Post-it notes, and I had them out and written. And every day I woke up and I grinded towards.
Yeah, you need to stay focused. I agree. Nice. But I'm going to set the bar low, and as of today, it's going to be bragging rights.
Okay.
So every time I introduce myself at parties from that day forward, I was like, hey, I'm an amateur stand-up comedian.
Okay.
I went up on once. That's awesome.
And I can shut my wife the fuck up when she thinks I'm a wise guy. Like, I'm literally a fucking
he
stand-up,
said it.
an amateur stand-up comedian, honey. Do you understand?
Well, I mean,
I need a certificate, though. They need to give me a certificate.
No,
We'll
I'm sure we
Photoshop
can,
one for
we
you.
can sort something
but
out for
you know, I feel that being able to put your hand out and shake somebody's hand rather than have your dick in it is a really solid goal.
It's true.
So good for you.
Yeah, it's gotten better though because I got this high quality underwear and it's less sweaty. You know, man.
Oh, we next tape.
See,
I have a revolutionary product that I've discovered called Chassis. It's not talc, but holy
Whoa,
Jesus.
what?
So is that the next?
It's not
It's a
talc?
cure for swamp ass.
Okay.
No, because
my retort to you
Are we going to
is
save it for the next
Yeah.
podcast?
my
Yeah,
retort
okay.
to you is though, however, say you went to Disney World. It's
Save it for the next
98
podcast.
degrees.
Yeah.
It's 98 degrees. Could you use that?
Yes.
It's 100% humidity,
no.
98
You
degrees.
may have to reapply.
Yeah,
Okay,
we're
there you
saving
go.
this though because
Okay,
that's
fine.
a good one. We've got to make.
Okay, on that note, we're gonna close
No,
this.
we don't wanna talk
he's
about my
not
comedy?
fucking done,
Shit,
dude.
you asshole.
What kind of a friend is this to you?
All right, we got
even
5
we're
more
not
hours,
even at
5 more
freaking-
minutes left.
All right, so clearly we found the weak link in this chain. So this, folks, this may not be the final lineup for this podcast.
We're accepting applications.
Jesus Christ. I told you, I'm trying to. We need 5 minutes for our sponsors, man.
Listen,
We'll get there.
I don't know. Anyways, all
Your
right.
like, how do you feel about comedy? What is it for you?
So I've just always been drawn to stand-up comedy since, like, I remember listening to Best Fishes, Steve Martin album
Yeah.
at my grandparents' house. I had the little picture sticking up in my bedroom in high school or whatever. Like, it was, I just from that, like the Adam Sandler tapes. Remember
Oh
all
yeah,
that shit.
they're all gonna laugh at you.
They're all gonna laugh at you. And the Goat and Toe Booth Willie, all that kind of stuff, and the Def Jam comedy jams, and when we were younger, the improv stuff. And then I moved to Raleigh, North Carolina, and my old roommate turned me on to like Richard Pryor stuff. And then from there, in Raleigh, they have it's a super small city, but the headliners go there. They have this one little tiny bar, Charlie Goodnight's. It's called something different now, but
Yeah.
Is this near
Man.
Tyson's Corner?
I don't think so. No,
Oh, I don't know.
But
It's a famous place in.
no, but thanks for taking the wheels off that for me. That was nice. That was helpful.
You were speeding right along.
Yeah. Open
for that
night,
speed
open
bump,
night,
yeah.
Mike
So
night.
yet
Yeah.
again, accepting applications.
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, go on. Open night, Mike night.
So I got to see a ton of like top name comics when I was there, and I was just I never thought I could do that. Like I was just going to be a tech guy, a CE, and that was
Yeah.
going to be my thing. And I was never, and I still really don't think I'm that funny or funny enough to do that. But
I disagree.
keeping things going, it's an itch that I have to scratch, and
Yeah.
eventually I'm going to get up and make a fool out of myself.
Right.
I'm not ready yet. My problem is I have way too many irons in the fire, and I cannot get focused to put my time into the craft, and I feel like I need to do the craft justice and focus quality time before I'm ready, instead of just going up and saying fuck it. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah,
I
yeah.
want to sit down and like my friend Dan, he'll be on here. He's gone up a couple times to this thing, and he's we work together. So
Yeah.
so in that field, like he spends an hour on the train one way, twice a day, 2 hours
Right.
every day. So
Right.
he's in that mode and getting it going, and I just don't have that. My lifestyle is such now that I'm going to be able to make room for it. That's why I'm
Right.
starting to do this, and
Yeah.
I want to really start taking it seriously. But
Yeah.
I really want to give it justice. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I don't want to be a.
It's a
hack
good
and just
release
go up.
too.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I mean, it's like a nice little hobby. You can make it whatever you want to make it too.
Well, it
Like
can
if
be
you want to do
therapy.
just the bare
Definitely
minimum,
therapy,
if
yeah.
you want to just do the bare minimum, that's what I intend on
Yeah.
doing.
Well, be selfish. Be selfish. Just do it for what you want to get out of it.
Right,
Like, you
right.
go up there and that's an adrenaline rush. You
Yeah,
come in here
yeah.
hanging out with friends,
Yeah.
and this
Exactly.
is fun.
It's so
and who
fun.
gives a shit if anyone wants to do it? So
Right.
that's where I'm at.
Like
with
this is Monday night, and this is the best
Right.
Monday night, and I've
Exactly.
had forever.
Right.
This is awesome.
awesome. All right, well let's go to this fucking open mic.
All right.
That's a good spot to leave it.
Okay.
It's
Fair enough.
All right.
A
So
minute
we
and
got to
20
think of a
seconds.
name.
It's a good night
And all
to
that
have
stuff,
a
but-
good night.
I like the
folks.
weed, beers, and dogs.
What?
Beers,
Something
dogs,
like
that
that.
has a good ring to it. It's easy. It
Beers
rolls off the.
Right?
Applications can be sent to.
If you're creative, feel free.
No, but I think I'm feeling good about this. I think
Yeah.
if we're all professional enough to put our professional hats on after this,
Right.
Yep.
and come up with a funny name
Yeah.
and a channel that we can distribute this,
Yeah.
and maybe some of our friends, Wellies, might want to listen to it.
I think so, because I think our friends think that we're funny too, so that's why they are our friends.
I don't know if my friends
I don't
think I'm
think my
funny. I
friends
think
think
they
I'm
just.
funny.
Oh.
I just think they
But
just.
I think you're funny,
I think your
and
friends
I'm your
humor you.
friend. Yeah. No.
I think my friends patronize me more than anything. No?
I think. I mean, I don't, but I think both you guys
Wink,
are
wink,
genuinely
nudge, nudge.
funny.
What?
I think both of you are genuinely funny.
Thank you.
Oh.
So I think that if I don't think that either of us in this room have any idea how to be a stand-up
Not at all.
Oh no,
comic,
not
how to come up with an act and all that stuff.
No.
So we wouldn't be funny stand-up comics. But I
Correct.
think that if we go to these open mics and learn,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I think we can have 6 minutes of time that we will not embarrass.
What's scary though? The
That's
that's my
Yeah.
goal right
Yeah.
now. Like
Yeah.
my I'd like to be able to get up on stage and do 6 minutes of
Yeah.
just fucking around. Like
Yeah.
that would be super cool for me.
For sure.
You know, like even at like my sister, she's a singer. You know what I mean? Like go up ahead of time and fuck around. You know, get on the
Yeah.
stage and fuck around. You know what I mean? Like just that is my goal, and
Yeah.
just maybe something to do a couple times a week. Like I like to roller skate. You know,
Right.
You know, I'm trying to do things. I'm trying to focus my life around doing things that I enjoy. And
Yeah.
I enjoy stand-up comedy, and
Yeah.
there's an adrenaline rush. There's an excitement about getting in front of people and doing things, and I want to
For sure.
scratch that itch.
Yeah.
All
Right
right.
there with you.
Cool. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you very much.
You're the man.
Thanks.
Anything about the mouse?
No, that's all I got, dude.
That's enough.